Hi everyone, it's Open House Thursday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Tokpe Makadigie, and with me as usual are my co-host Nima. Good morning.
Good morning, Tokpe.
That's how you covered the Kpansa. You covered our Kpansa. You're wearing celebration shit.
You don't want me to be embarrassing myself. Okay. So, I don't like anything with the face on as a shirt, so I'd rather wear something with the written. Okay. So this year, all the celebration shirts I got, it's not my own.
So pass it to me.
So I know. Sorry, they've already been passed.
Oh.
But yesterday we went for the Lagos Fashion Week, and all the brands knew the celebrities in town. When we came inside, and we got gifts and gifts and gifts gifts. But I bought this skirt, so nice. Nigerians. I saw the skirt and I just knew this long skirt is going on.
They were giving us
very lovely
everywhere. That was
yes,
so
G. Daniel Collections gave me a bag, the bag I'm carrying.
Yes,
and I got Citro Fashion have shoes.
They did not send you to us that did not come.
Don't worry, they packed a basket for
things for us.
Yeah. Okay. Talk about pick it up today. I could not carry load.
Thank you.
So we're still going back today.
Today is a special day for BC.
Yes.
So let's give you time to serenade your lover.
Okay, so it's my 10-year wedding anniversary today.
Oh, Duma.
And 10 years, excuse me,
veteran in the business.
10 years ago, I walked down the aisle and I said, I do. To the best thing, the best man that has ever existed in the universe. And he's loved me so much. He's taken care of me. And if I come again, I will still choose him to be my husband. He's just been the best. No, I chose him. I chose him
today.
With all this shout out,
I'm just grateful to God, for it's not been, it's not easy. Having to go through marriage. Sometimes we all come out and show the glam and everything, but then it takes a lot of work. It takes commitment. It takes the grace of God to stay strong and still feel like, I don't feel like I'm 10 years. I feel like I just met him. I just met him. Yeah, so true. So I'm just grateful.
To Asaba for the traditional wedding.
Oh, of course, you must have done
that was yes, I did our makeup for the white and the traditional. I would reveal the way you looked 10 years ago today. I've saved the picture. Our court wedding, I was wearing three-quarter. I was looking like a funny person beside them, but you could see that one thing that I could say from day one was there was love. There was so much love. It was shocking everybody. Well, we're grateful to God. 10 years.
Thank God.
10
Congratulations, sis.
Thank you, we'll keep on praising all the way. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
You look so beautiful.
Thank you.
Like
it's her wedding.
Thank
you so much. First of all, I would like to give a shout out to my mother-in-law. She's my husband's aunt. But I call her my mother-in-law. And when she got back from America yesterday, she came with this beautiful dress.
It looks good.
And she knows me. I don't know how to keep. I don't know how to keep cloth. Once the cloth comes in, I must wear it. So I've launched it, and thank you so much, my so beautiful. Yesterday, Nima did like the most. She did so many lovely things yesterday. She came, she picked me up from my house, took me for the exhibition, and dropped me off. But then she met my kids. They're so excited to see her. Nima mentioned to my son, because I mentioned once before, that I was having a little problem with my son's pronunciation. And then when she got to my house, she said, your mother has been telling me that she does not like your pronunciation. Don't mind her. We Edo people were unique and everything. That boy took it. Nima. And which was really good, because just the day before, my husband and I were talking about my son and his pronunciation, and he said to me he's no longer going to consistently insist on him pronounce it, because he really just wants to help him build his self-esteem. So when you just said that,
he helped out.
Thank you. And he helped. I said, do you remember what she said? She said, yes. He said, yes, I remember. She says, I'm unique.
Thank
you. Typical Nima.
And that's very, very important that we feed the right things in our children, feed the right things in ourselves, because it's programming. You're hearing it is registering in your mind that I am unique. That boy would grow up thinking that if anybody says anything funny,
it doesn't matter.
Somebody has told me that we are unique people.
The most well-mannered, impressive kids.
I
expected them to be toddlers.
Scratching everywhere. Come and see my own. You understand? I am working on the matter. It is well with all of us. Mothers is different.
It's her personality.
Yes. When we return, don't worry. Nima, we're going to discuss parenting, because all of us are going through different phases in our children some other time. But today we will we'll go for a break. When we return, we'll review the news headlines. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. We'll be starting off with the Punch. Major headline. EFCC obtains court order to detain Fayose for 2 weeks. Charge ex-governor to court. PDP tell EFCC. And in other news, Obasanjo Atiku, Catholic Secretariat says Kuka's reconciliatory efforts hijacked and politicized. Electoral bill. Card reader splits rep. PDP lawmakers protest. Consideration adjourned till Thursday. Senate probe illegal bank charges. Demand suspension of ATM maintenance fee. Fayemi scraps education taxes. Pupils to get free meal. That's good. I almost quit Eagles after death threats from Igalo. Ibori loses court appeal in UK graft conviction. And human interest, we have woman allegedly impersonates Clam founder, defrauds church members. Couples seeking better life sell one-day-old baby for 250,000 naira.
Time has come.
Police arrest ex-Emzor worker who sold codeine to BBC. Now, the human interest, will just go with them one after the other.
So I have the couple that sold their child for 250,000 naira. Richard and, yes, baby. Richard and Chidinma Benson live in Oigbo, local government in Rivers State, and they sold their 4th child. They said that they've been living in poverty, and the husband is a wheelbarrow pusher, and he was saying that his wife had a sore on her leg, which they needed to treat, and they didn't have money to treat it, so they sold the baby for 250,000 naira to a lady called Rose Onya, who further sold to Eukaria Jaja for 550,000, and that one also sold it to someone here in, sold the baby to someone here in Lagos. So really what they're saying is that they did this because they're poor, and they were just, and they were also looking for a way to leave their village, you know, for a better life.
We need to ease up the way of adoption. If the adoption process is easier.
Yeah, but you don't pay for adoption. You pay people for adoption.
You can give up your child for adoption.
You see the documentary, document work,
takes a lot of money.
We don't do it here, so we have a lot of illegal adoption. This is a kind of adoption happening, but you know, it was done through child trafficking, which is a crime. I think the problems, there is a multifaceted issue.
Yes.
Poverty, lack of proper health, proper welfare for them, and you know, a lot of other things we should look at.
So the 28-year-old woman has been arraigned before the Ogba Magistrate Court for impersonating a pastor.
The founder of
CLAM. The founder of CLAM. That's Christ Living Apostolic Ministry, and defrauding a church member. Aside from her, there are other fraudsters who, you know, set up a Facebook account with the pastor's name and picture and been collecting money from church members, defrauding them. So investigations are ongoing right now to get more people who have, and this has been going on since 2016.
Good. Nima, what's about the coding story?
The coding story, yes. So
we've been following it for a while.
In fact, the guy's name is, I had to write it somewhere. Chukwuonye Modubuike is an Igbo guy. Was, you know, discovered through on the investigative journalism done by an undercover journalist of BBC, Soyinka is his name, Adejuwon Soyinka. He discovered, you know, to be one who deals in the sale of this banned product codeine. And police fortunately arrested him because he was on the run, but they you know, eventually arrested him.
Thank God.
Yeah.
That's great.
So moving on to the Daily Sun. Major headline, EFCC unveils building linked to ex-governor Fayose. Former Ekiti governor refuses to answer questions, decline administrative bail. Senate orders suspension of ATM other charges. Anger in Senate as PDP, APC senators clash over sitting arrangements. That was a dramatic thing. But I think that it's just there are too many issues going on that we shouldn't give room for that. Nima, you have the story. Who has the story for Fayose? Yes.
Yes, so he's refusing to answer questions. He went with his pillow, toothpaste, and everything to spend a night. Now, you know, he went prepared that he was going to give them, you know, answer them. He wasn't afraid. Now he's gotten there and they're asking questions. He's not saying anything. He's telling them to sue him to court if they have evidence. So I really don't understand why he went there if he's not ready. Yes, he refused bail.
So he cannot be compelled to answer during investigations. Okay. The EFCC should have tidied up their job by doing their investigations before his invitation. And if they have to call him in to answer certain things which he refuses to answer. So you can't compel the person to confess to a crime. Okay. Confession without a willingness.
You have the other story about CBN and the courts, the ATM charges.
I have that.
Please go ahead.
So I wanted to talk about Fayose. They can't compel him though. But
he needs his lawyer
so
present.
EFCC should tidy up so we don't lose this case if they have a case. But in the House yesterday, God bless the senator for Lagos East.
Yes,
for presenting
going out.
A motion, you know, against all the fictitious bank charges that we have. So he raised a motion on the floor of the House yesterday, asking the House to put a stop to fictitious bank charges and invite the CBN to answer to why certain of this, as a regulator, why they are not regulating most of these charges. And truly, Nigerians are, our body is aching.
But just to confirm, is it fictitious charges or
so you have ATM maintenance charges, you have a limitation of 10,000 naira per ATM.
Yes.
You must have seen the plenary.
So the issue is,
it
used to be 20,000 naira per ATM as minimum, but now some banks deliberately reduce
at your own bank, you could get up to 40,000.
Yes, but
we need to revert to that situation. We need to revert to the circumstance the situation that was operated under Sanusi as the CBN governor at the time. So we had banks you can do bank ATM withdrawals without getting charged because this is easing their business for them. But banks have found all ridiculous ways to make money. So you pay for ATM maintenance.
Most annoying.
I do mobile transfer. I will pay for it, and then they do another 50-something naira tax on it. So they're just making money without.
So obviously this is
no regulation.
Everybody, it's a good
all our body
moving on to the nation.
New Telegraph.
No, moving on to the nation. Akpabio to Saraki, Senate leadership must change. Senate in row over sitting plan. I know Nima is itchy to talk about that. Just chill. Government labor set for showdown over pay. Missing general. Army hands 13 to the police. And fake news threatened 2019 election. So
the labor,
yes.
So in Abuja yesterday at the Senate plenary again, Senator representing Akwa Ibom Northeast, Senator Basi Albert Akpan, raised a point of order that the APC had, he had information that the APC is trying to cause disarray in Akwa Ibom following the elections so that they will have a governorship election cancellation in Akwa Ibom State. And, you know, he raised that point of order on the floor of the House. Of course, the minority senator from the same state would have to answer to it. And then we saw minority take over majority in the House. The Senate president, of course, who is now on their side, denied the other senator the floor to speak. Insisting that, you know, he wasn't mic'd, he should get a mic. You know, insisting that he wasn't sitting where he's supposed to be sitting. All sorts of excuses just to silence his constituency's representation. Just to silence his constituency's representation.
Yes, which is what we should highlight.
That is the problem.
For every time somebody is not allowed to talk, the entire area
is denied,
has been silenced. Moving on to Nigerian Tribune, we'll take it here. We'll take it here. To curtail strike, federal government to gazette no work, no pay principle. Halasan retrieves furniture, computers she donated to Taraba APC office.
That's the whole story.
Yes. Suspected ritually sold 31 human skulls to personalities in Kwara from the police. Senate asked CBN to suspend ATM charges. Someone in Mayfield, we've discussed that. Family of 9 die in Ogbomosho road accident. Fayemi abolishes education tax in Ekiti schools, and Delta proposes 367 billion naira for 2017 budget. So, Halasan.
Al-Hassan, so former Minister for Women Affairs, Al-Hassan has decided that because she had a fallout from the APC, you know, she didn't get her nomination, and then in her anger, she asked her boys to go to the secretariat and take out all the things that she had contributed to the party secretariat. Rugs, carpets, air conditioning sets, furniture.
Yes. I'll go now. Quickly take the human scores.
Okay, the human scores. So police yesterday arrested paraded 8 suspects for allegedly dealing in rituals, kidnapping, and they found in one of the suspects' houses, Aziz, they found 11 human skulls. And according to the confessions from other suspects, they've actually sold 31 human skulls to people in total.
In Kwara State.
Yes, in Kwara State.
I want you to
They
land
want to exhume a corpse from graveyards.
All these Kwara people, they're supposed to be very religious.
The urgency, the craze for money, the craze for wealth at all costs is one of this, and poverty is also at the aim of this. But that's all we can take today on News Headlines. When we return, we have a guest from Union Bank to discuss the recently unveiled Edu 360 initiative, and later we'll be gisting something really interesting. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. Union Bank recently unveiled its Edu 360 initiative as part of efforts to increase its support for the education sector in Nigeria. Today, we discuss the bank's efforts in this sector, and to shed more light on the Edu 360 initiative itself, we have Head Strategic Brand Management at Union Bank, Ngozi Akinyele. Welcome to the show. Good morning.
Oh, thank you. Thanks
I just feel you look very familiar, and you don't have a familiar face. You have a very unique face. So,
thank you very
but
much.
Tell us about this initiative. What informed the decision of Union Bank to put up Edu 360 initiative, and what is it about?
So Union Bank turned 100 years last year. Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah. So yes, we've been around for
Ancient of days.
A century.
for over a century now. And as we thought about the future for the bank and the country, we decided to make a bold move to get the private sector more involved in driving Nigeria's growth, particularly towards the SDGs. And our focus was then the most critical ones for Nigeria, which are poverty and quality education. And for us, it's not just a social drive, it's also a business drive. Because if you think about the fact that people get out of poverty, get educated, then they get economically empowered as well. And
Eventually.
then they can open accounts. So economic growth is actually tied to that social goal of driving the SDGs. And so we zeroed in on education, and that's why we're working.
This initiative, E360, exactly how is it supposed to be?
What is it?
So Edu 360 is an initiative that basically is launching as an event, a flagship event that's going to be annual. Okay. It's 360 degrees because, like we say, there's something in it for everyone who's linked to education, for the parents, for teachers, for students, for investors in education as well, in even service providers. A few things, if I could go deep into the initiative, are, for example, for parents and even just for children, as we before the break, you were talking about self-esteem. So for example, topics for children are like building your self-esteem, raising entitled children for parents, for example. How do you stop that? How do you attack that? And then for investment opportunities for those who have education solutions as well. And there will be an exhibition of about over 70 exhibitors with different products, their schools. So talks, exhibitions, sessions, and fun and games, of course, for the children.
I've been to one of such exhibitions sometime in the past, and I'm really wondering, how did you guys come up with the criteria? Because it's definitely not all schools that are allowed to be in that exhibition. You must have partnered with some schools to come exhibit based on what you know that they can offer. So how did you select the schools that will be exhibiting?
So in our case, there was no criteria like that. So particularly because we see it as it's organized by Union Bank. So it's basically a platform for schools to come. So if you're a secondary school, like you have a primary school, or if you are like a niche provider who is like a collaborator or a group of schools, it's open to you. It's been up for over about 2 months now, and now we have a good mix of schools, service providers, different new and interesting solutions in education as well,
so
exhibiting.
What exactly can people expect? You've mentioned some parts that you're expecting both parents, both children, and you're also expecting schools to come in. But what are they going to get when they come there? What is the outline of the event? What are we looking forward to achieving while we're there?
So for just going into like the theme, for example, the theme is investing in the future. And for us, we think about the future beyond, just going into a few schools and renovating them. A key part of the future of education is actually the teachers. And so a core part of the program is a 2-day teacher training, where there'll be technical experts that would train the teachers. There would also be free educational resources for teachers. So visual learning aids, for example, books and resources that teachers can go home with.
Oh, okay.
Of course, yeah, free.
Wow. Okay, so what are you doing for free for the kids? Especially, I like the robotics workshop, coding workshop. Is there anything for free?
Absolutely,
for the kids?
all of that is free.
So how did you shortlist the teachers that will be coming, or is it still open for registration?
And then what's the registration criteria?
So for schools exhibiting, they're allowed to bring teachers, and for any walk-in teacher as well, you're also allowed to come in for the workshops. For the children, as you talked about, we're partnering with Google, Little Engineers, School Strong for the robotics workshop and animation, coding.
So how do they register?
I know that.
So you register on at Union Bank at www.unionbankng/edu360 to attend. Attendance is free, but of course you have to register to help us plan.
So where do you register? On the website?
On the website. Okay. On the website.
Yeah. What about the parents? They are supposed to have like a seminar. Who are those going to be talking to them on raising well-balanced children?
Yes, so for example, we have, raising well-balanced children is just one of the topics, like I talked about. One of the topics that I personally like is balancing talent and learning. So it's your child is star, your child is big in music, sports. Can you get them a scholarship, right? And do they have to drop out of school? So that's a big topic. We have Bikia Graham Douglas, who's an actor, talked about that, an athlete as well. We have Kemi Akindoju Fregene talking about building your child's esteem. We have Yeti Williams, Lagos Moms, Jadisola Dedeji, a few others, Folawe Omikole, Teach for Nigeria, Mudukwe Adefeso for TEP Center.
It's major.
It's really packed.
I wanted to ask, what other side attractions do you have? Are people going to, because I wanted to ask the venue, and are you doing anything to assist people to get to the venue?
Absolutely. So the venue is Harbour Point, Victoria, 4 Wilmont Road, Victoria Island, Lagos, particularly because I said we're focusing on the future, and teachers are that future, a key part of that future. We're providing free transportation for schools, for students in school, particularly those in education departments. So University of Lagos, Yaba Tech, and College of Education at Akoka, there'll be buses.
There's one at Janiki too.
Yes, yes. We will keep thinking about how to expand.
What are you how many number of people that you're expecting?
What are you ready for? We're ready for 5,000 to 7,000 people across 2 days.
That's huge.
So, can you tell us where people can follow you on social media? Repeat your website so that people can get that detail in. For those that are watching and would like to register for this event, what do they need to do?
Please log on to www.unionbankng/edu360 to register. All of the details will be there. Please follow us as well. It's on our pages on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
This is a very commendable CSR.
Thanks for coming. We had fun, and we'll definitely attend this event. I'm sure there was something for us to learn.
I definitely will with my kids.
Thank you very much.
Well, that's all we can take on this segment. Next, when we return, we will be discussing that if you are to come back to this world, would you want to be married? Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So it's our Gisting Thursday. And the idea of being married nowadays is becoming a debatable issue, as some people believe that it should be put to extinction. Report has it that fewer people are getting married in developed countries. And there's also a trend of trying to delay marriage. Divorce rates are high in conservative countries. Questions like, why do people actually want to have partners instead of having spouses? You can change partners in months. So we ask, how relevant is this marriage thing anyway? in this current dispensation, how relevant is it? And if you come back, would you still want to marry? But let's just start with how relevant is marriage, because we keep hearing partners. But before we start answering, let's invite our callers. Join this conversation by calling us on 070-8066-8014. And please tweet to us at TVC Connect, #YourViewTVC, and everybody will read your tweets. So,
I think...
Is marriage still relevant?
First of all, to reevaluate what marriage means to us as individuals and what marriage means to us as a global world right now. Now, a lot of people see marriage as a means to an end. And your end can be different from my end, depending on how we see life. My end, personally, is I want to have one person that I walk this earth with for the rest of my life. That's my end. For some other people, it's not that end. So if we understand what it means to you personally, you know, back in the days, women were seen as preservers of marriage, preservers of homes. So they get married, glamorous marriage, and they find out that it's not really what they expected. But then they stick to it. They stay there because they do not have a choice. But now everybody has a choice to choose what you want for yourself. And now we're seeing people coming out of the marriage like, I can't take this anymore, I can't take that anymore. And it's seeming like it's changing.
But the problem,
yes, but the problem is not the institution, because the institution was created for contentment. The problem is us. So you need to ask yourself, what does marriage mean to me? Can I be happy outside marriage? Can I be happy in marriage?
Okay, in my opinion, for me, marriage is even more relevant now than it has ever been. I mean, just from the simple fact that, you know, through history, historically, marriage, I think, was created for the man. A man comes of age, they say to you, you need someone to cook for you, to clean your house, to bear your children, you get a wife. Communities, countries want to further get political influence, financial empowerment, you give them a daughter. So it was really, so really marriage through history was about the man. But over time, marriage has evolved. And I see that it has evolved as the woman has evolved. So we have a woman now who is empowered. She has her needs, her wants, and her expectations of what marriage should be. And so marriage has evolved to accommodate the new woman. And therefore, I do not see that marriage is, you know, that's why I feel that marriage is even more relevant today. In fact, it's more enjoyable for us now as women to marry. What a better time to be married. Remember, and then we have like different...
Because some people watching now,
okay, let me finish.
Is still that they have to cook. They cook Oga's breakfast and then cook Oga's lunch that is going to pack to work.
And yet, when we compare the marriages today to the marriages that were there in the 1800s and 1900s, there's a whole lot of difference. So we're not disregarding that people right now do not have those issues. But we know and recognize that so many women are able to enjoy their marriages because they have become empowered. And marriages have also changed based on the way that women have grown and become more empowered.
I love marriage. Truth is that people feel like they should have expiring dates for marriage. Yes, like I can get married and 3 years down the line, I can reevaluate that. Is this thing working? I think I'm tired of this particular person. Let me try something else, which is why people are moving towards the trend of having partners as opposed to marriage, where you start considering the cost of divorce and everything. People feel, why should I be tied to one person all my life? Why? Nima, before you go Islamic, because I know that's already. Yes, before you go Islamic,
go real.
Personal cultural realities of what women are facing right now. Is marriage still relevant to us?
Okay, there are several angles to come, but I'm still thinking about the CSR of the Union Bank, and I think we should be part of it. 23rd and 24th October, so next week, Tuesday and Wednesday, we should be part of it. But now, let me now go my activist side. In my experience fighting women's rights, in my practice and all that, I would ask most women to sit down and look at it very well. So marriage for the purpose of fulfilling a duty to society, to family, to all that, totally unnecessary. And it goes across all religion, because you see Muslim women whose rights are the most established in the world, anywhere by any religious book, are also being abused. So I wonder which Quran is your husband reading and which prophet is he following that is doing this to you, abandoning your children, abandoning you to your needs and all that. Which husband, which religion, which Islam? But you see this thing happen everywhere. So you don't have a committed partner. Don't do marriage. If you cannot get a person who will take full responsibility, totally, marriage is not your calling, leave it. When you find someone that you gel with, because you see, we cannot play with the sanctity of the home. And the societies that have compromised the sanctity of the home and, you know, do partnership and all those things have a problem on their hands that we see every day. Single motherhood, baby mamahood, and baby fatherhood, all those things have created societal problems for those societies that we are trying to beat. But you see, we must, first of all, like Obiajulu said, get the meaning of marriage right before we even delve into it. So I talked to a lady yesterday. She was married, and 3 months into her marriage, the husband found every excuse to leave the house. 9 years after they have a son, he's questioning the paternity of the son 9 years after.
Oh my God.
A child she validly had under marriage. Every excuse in the book to dodge the responsibility of raising that child. So you see, marriage comes with the responsibilities. And I would hate to be in a partnership that is not, you know, binding legally and have children in that arrangement. So we cannot discuss the responsibilities of the marriage to the extent that he holds one person down and, you know, he's committing one person. A man who is married and can dodge and can escape his responsibilities, and you have a valid document, you know, you can still get it enforced in court. It's actionable. You can go to court and say, he's abandoned me, these are the rights. You can get maintenance, you can get everything. You can even get him to be compelled to do it.
Coming from the point of view of the legality, in case there's a divorce.
If you want to do.
But if you actually have, some people say that being partners means that I know I can walk away, so I will put in everything I have because I'm not tied. Some people are in marriages because they're just tied to each other. So they're not finding fun, it's not fulfilling, they're just tied
everywhere. Let me come to that. The problem I see with that not being tied, you know, you want to cohabit, you want to have situationships, you want to have friends with benefits and all of that. It's a lazy man's easy way out. Because marriage is all about commitment. So you want to be able to, yes,
not for boys.
The morals in the society is decreasing day by day, that people want to live their lives anyhow without accountability. So they want to be able to move from one partner to the other. Okay, let's say it's not working for me after 2 years. I can discard you and move on to the next person. And that is not helping us build a better society.
And yet, you know, when you say that, and yet we have this, we say it a lot on this couch, where we say that marriage is no longer 50%, 50. I hear you say that a lot. It's not 50% here and 50% there, and then you come and make 100. First of all, on your own, you need to be sure of who you are.
Exactly.
So now we have those sort of people who, when they are deciding to marry, this is who I am, these are my goals, my own individual goals. Then they seek people out who have similar interests and similar goals, and then you come together and then you form an alliance. The thing about companionship is that it's just a natural human thing.
While we are sitting down here painting an ideal picture, how many people know who they were before getting married?
So that's
how many people had a list of these are my values, this is what I want to do with my life. Many people did not know who they were going to be or how they're going to express themselves before marriage.
I didn't cut my husband. So I think I can answer that question. You see, it doesn't matter who you were when you get into marriage. You are not who you are when you got into school. You have grown.
Yes, we grow.
So you open that door, that open objective mind to grow with the person. You see, we saw the Setro fashion couple yesterday. They're a power couple in the making. Look at the two of them. Young, doing everything together.
Doing amazing.
And there's no way in this world they will not have made mistakes, but they did it together. They are ready, committed to taking that initiative together. So if they were partners in a business, I have a partner. Yesterday I was screaming on the phone with one of my partners who employed a secretary without confirming. And he's insisting that he's done the right thing because I said interview. And he said, you know, it means confirm. I don't understand. How do you put a person I will work with without asking me? It's the same thing in marriage.
There needs to be both parts. We have a phone call. Miriam from Papa, welcome to the show. Good morning.
Every time Miriam calls.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, ladies. I'm missing Morayo this morning. Congratulations once again to you, DC.
Oh, thank you.
So, From my own side, I don't really think marriage is necessary. I am married, I've got kids, I'm enjoying my marriage. My husband is an amazing person. But another opportunity, I probably will not get married.
Why?
It is not because of him. It is just because I think it's not necessary. You know, the value we place in marriage, the way we overrate marriage is just being more destructive than, you know, helpful. People just go into marriages because they need to satisfy the society, not necessarily because they understand what they are going into. And I don't have a statistic, but I would say that a lot of women are really not happy being married. You can come out and make it glamorous and say all you want to say, but
Miriam, a lot of women are not happy where they work.
Exactly, but they work there.
Yeah, but they work there. So Miriam, a lot of women are not happy where they work.
You can walk out. You can walk out of your job just like that. But
you can also walk out of a bad marriage, but you can also make it work.
Society doesn't make it easy for you to just walk out.
Let me explain that part of society compelling you to.
Society won't let you just.
Nima, let's hear Miriam. Let's hear Miriam.
So that we don't have. Okay, go on.
The truth is partnership. I'm not encouraging any form of partnership or what have you. But like you rightly said, if you must go into marriage, make sure you really want to go into marriage.
Exactly.
Don't endure your life. You have a right to enjoy your life. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Miriam. Miriam has brought a different angle, and I want us to talk more about it after we take this short break, because there are a lot of people suffering in marriages that are compelled by societal beliefs and are remaining in those marriages based on societal beliefs. So let's address that side of the story. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. The story has been really interesting. Miriam, the guest caller, actually opened a can of worms, because for me, I felt that everybody was just sugarcoating the issues on ground. A lot of people rarely get married with the clear idea of what how marriage would affect them, especially for women. They didn't know how marriage would affect them. Even men don't understand how marriage would affect their finances, how marriage would put pressure on their time, how marriage would change how they would grow in their industry. People don't understand the impact of marriage on their life. So they get married with false expectation and get married based on societal pressure. Such people tend to be dissatisfied in marriage. So I ask point blank, if you come back, Nima, if you come back, like you're born again, like, you know, you die and then you come back, you know, would you still want to marry?
Again and again. I won't want to do this business that I'm doing right now outside a binding arrangement. Never. Okay.
We'll come and rediscuss what the business is. But BC, if you were given the opportunity to remarry, like, okay, you're born afresh and you want to remarry, what would you be?
If I can find my exact husband, I will marry him. But if I cannot find him, I'll stay on my own.
Miriam.
Well, you know, I've said this, I don't think if I've said it on the couch before, but I've told you that I've never been like the average woman. I never had dreams of being married and having weddings. My dream was always to be financially independent and then maybe have 1 or 2 kids. Whoa. So when I met my husband, it was, you know, I remember even saying to him at the time, I was happy to meet, you know, him, and while we dated, and I said to him, this is a relationship I can continue even if there's no marriage. Awesome. And he had been married before. So for him, he said to me that the only reason he's remarrying, because he's marrying me. If it was someone else, he wouldn't have done it. So I guess it worked for us.
For you guys.
Oh my God.
Different opinion. We'll take this phone call and I'll give you the answer to the question. Welcome to the show, Ola. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah. You guys are doing a wonderful job out there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you could imagine the sphere of influence that you have, you understand? I mean, what you do is improperly valued. I mean, you should be paid highly for what you're doing. So I really commend you very much. Back to the topic.
Yes, please go ahead.
I think if you have asked a man if would he like to marry when he comes back the next month? You know, for most men, you find out that it will be like an 80% affirmative.
Eh?
You know, maybe
80%.
Maybe because of the fact that the kind of pressure the marriage has on women.
Oh, yeah, true.
More than what it has on men.
True.
So, I mean, probably if you reverse the hot topic and make it look like this, okay, as a lady, in your next lifetime, would you want to reverse your gender? Probably, you understand?
It's reversal of gender. I want to.
Please, that's a hot topic. I will do that. But for me, if I was supposed to have an opportunity to rejig this, I'm happy with the life I'm living. I'm fulfilled. I've made a good choice. If I had another choice, I wouldn't want to get married.
So if you're happy, why would you say that?
For me, I want the life of Oprah.
That is it.
I want a life of major impact. Let me explain. I feel I love my kids. I love my being a mother, but I cannot do a lot of things because I have to put them first. Because I've taken responsibility for bringing them to this world. So I would sacrifice my time because I want to be with them. I want to be with them. No, I would sacrifice my dreams because I feel like my husband, I must support him. But if there is no husband in the equation, Tope will be a different person.
I disagree.
Listen, I'm giving my own opinion. Okay. I will be flying around the world. I'll be giving speeches from state to state. I'll be transforming the generation to come because that is the dream I have.
You
said your own opinion.
You don't have the proper values. How do you give it?
Talk about what you're saying. You're talking about being a mother. That's a whole different ballgame from being married.
Even being a wife. Being a wife, I'm calculating everything at home.
Secondly,
I'm free to do anything I want to do. I hustle for myself and for the entire new generation I want to raise.
Secondly, you mentioned Oprah. Oprah has been in a long-term relationship
with a partner.
Bang. So that communication or that companionship, that's what's important, and that is marriage, and that is what marriage should be.
Marriage.
No, that you're talking about
marriage is more than commitment. Marriage is the fact that you are even.
You see all these that you just mentioned. All these that you mentioned.
Should I speak for the men? Men every day.
Achieving that in marriage.
Yes.
So I remember on my wedding day, I had a fever, just because I didn't know. I was saying to myself, would this man give me the life that I'm looking for? I'm not a wife to sit in the kitchen. I don't want to have a shop. I don't want to, I'm not that kind of person. This is the kind of person, achieve things, do great things. I want to be known,
And you're on that path already.
On that morning, and I had a fever. And how many years now? 9 years? I look at him, and I'm doing every single thing.
It depends on what you're...
Why are you facing me? No, I'm facing you. We can have a cat now, and you will be committed to your cat. What you want to achieve.
My life wouldn't have taken this path if I had not met my husband. Because everything I am today is because I have that guy.
Please, Mr.
And
Mark, I love you.
More.
I love you too. Mr. Mark, I love you too. Everything belongs to you. I'm just saying.
Artist today is because I had somebody who saw the diamond in the mud. Nobody saw it. My parents did not even see it. So you can still...
Some husbands will have gold, they will cover it. Some husbands will have candle, they will cover it. So if you are in that situation, open your eyes.
Exactly.
Take to it, please.
Olawell Oyelekon says, yes, I want to because I love babies. That one wants to have children. Okay. Premium Home says, marriage is beyond what we all seem it to be. It's the best gift from God because women are a gift. My wife is a gift. I appreciate God for her. It's now left me to manage my gift and balance things. The only reason I won't marry is if God allows fornication. And God doesn't allow it. So I join you, brother, in our voice. Kenny Simeon says, I'm a single young Nigerian who is scared of marriage because of the stories and things happening in different marriages of today. The love is there at first and it's gone later. If same can happen in boyfriend and girlfriend relationships, talk less of marriage.
Adebayo says...
We'll take one, please.
Okay. So marriage is a lovely institution if one really understands how it works. But in recent times, many people marry because of material things and not because of the love for the institution.
Just find your guy.
Okay, so Mr. Adebayo as well says, most marriages have been eroded because of some borrowed Western values, which may not be in line with our cultural and religious beliefs. Definition of marriage is becoming subjective with different opinions.
Seriously, I agree with Adebayo.
The biggest challenge is the definition of marriage and what you expect in marriage. And I think more single people should have clarity concerning what they expect in marriage. That way they'll be comfortable. We have to go. Thank you for enjoying the show. Catch us tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Bye.